What is up, guys? Welcome to the new podcast space, which is my office. And you can't tell, but it is pretty cramped in here. But the wall's nice. So
yes, I love this.
So welcome back.
The Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. This is from my old apartment. Exactly. It's from my old apartment. We used to call this corner of the apartment the Burgundy room. Nice. So I wanted to honor that by having him here with this.
I love that.
All right, guys. One of those. So welcome back to the Unplugged podcast. My name is Katar. If you haven't seen any of the podcasts, this is basically my podcast where I have guests who are my friends, who are, different artists, entertainers, people who have passions, and I like to talk about those passions and their career and how they came to be and whatnot, like origin stories. And today I have a very special guest who I've had on before, her second time, and now in person because COVID is over. Yay. This is the new era of Unplugged. We are doing in-person video. Exciting. And everything. Yeah, me too. So this is Ashley, DJ Ash.
Hello.
MC Ash, not DJ Ash. DJ Ash is the other DJ. Yeah. Who's also is lovely. How should I introduce you as MC Ash or Ashley Platt or Rivera?
I have many aliases.
Yeah. That's why I want to make sure I get the right one.
I have many names. I wear many hats too.
Yeah.
MC Ash. And then I just started a new thing. Well, I've kind of been doing it for a while, but motivational talks with Ash.
Okay. We're going to get into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But before we do that, I just want to talk about our sponsors real fast. And it's only one sponsor. I've been using their, it's a sponsor, but I love their products and I use them consistently. And that is Popple. It's a digital business card device that you can put on your phone, on stickers, keychains. They also make decals, things like that. So if you go have business, you could just scan it and it'll show all the information you need for your menu, for your website, for your Instagram, all that stuff, all in one place. So I have my phone. It's really great. I actually have a digital business card for Popple here on my phone in my wallet. And I'll actually put the link to it as well. But it's easy to do. All you do is put it on your phone. And then you have a QRC code you can use. But there's also a sticker that I used before as well. But this has just been so easy to meet clients and use the Popple account. So if you want to get Popple for yourself, the code for 20% off right now on Popple is Katar Marcus. So if you guys want to get a Popple account for yourselves, digital business cards, because also going green, trying to use less paper, which I think is really important right now. Yeah. And it's also with people just moving forward and doing more social media and just being more on their phones, it's just more accessible for people. So once again, that code is Katar Marcus at thepopple.co, and then you can get 20% off on all your Popple products. So once again, that's Katar Marcus on the Popple website. Put the discount code, and you get a discount on me. So that helps you guys out. So and thank you for watching once again. But Ash, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Yeah, we've seen each other. We've seen each other a lot, but first time back on the podcast. So that's really great. And last time, man, we were like. So going through COVID, we're roughing it,
Yeah.
like we were
all on
like
Zoom.
We were trying to survive, and now like we're thriving, and I feel
we made it.
We did make it, and it's one of those things where like I feel so fortunate because there's so many people that weren't as lucky, So you got to just count your blessings and be grateful to have these opportunities,
Absolutely.
And I think that's a big important thing to talk about today because I know with you, because you really wanted to talk about what you're doing now and your new passions and your new projects, which has to do with, revitalization, renewal, and just finding your own peace and whatnot. And like kind of going through that struggle so that we can overcome and be better people, which I think is important, especially after coming out 2020 and coming out of like COVID. There are lots of losses, lots of depression, a lot of people going through things. So, when you said, you actually inspired me to like, oh yeah, you want to share that, and like I have a platform and I need to get my butt in gear and do podcasting again. So I'm glad that we got to do this.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, tell me what you've been up to.
Well, I've just been working on this project, which I'm super excited about. Last year was kind of a difficult year for me. I went through a lot of difficult things, very challenging. But from that, I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. And then I created Motivational Talks with Ash, which is my Instagram account. So go follow it if you don't already. And I started this when I was going through a back injury. And when I was going through the back injury, I was very depressed. It was difficult because I'm so used to moving my body. I was doing Zumba regularly, and when you're not able to move and you're in a lot of pain, it becomes difficult, and to keep your mind stimulated and focused and going, I created Motivational Talks with Ash. And shortly after that, I went through a breakup, like while my back was injured. Mm-hmm. And then it was just one thing after another. And so this motivational account that I created was not just to help other people that might be going through the same thing, but help me too, to keep motivated, to keep inspired, and to post things that helped me in hopes that it would help other people. And the more that I did it, I had people reaching out to me saying, I'm going through the same thing, or I just recently went through this, and I really appreciate what you're doing. And from there, I did a course. I did a few courses, and I had been a part of a coaching program. And I did a course with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, and it's pretty much how to sell what you know online. And I was thinking about this, and, over the past 5 or 6 years, I've kind of gone on this healing journey to kind of discover my patterns and discover the things from, my childhood and patterns that I've had throughout the years. And I feel like everything that I've been doing over the past 5 or 6 years has just kind of led me to this moment that I'm in right now, where I'm now developing a course that I can help other women that might have been where I was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, that are maybe at rock bottom and are looking for a way to find inner peace, to find joy, to find happiness, to find love, whatever that may be. And so that's kind of where it all stemmed from. It stemmed from my own darkness and pain, and now turning that into light and helping other people, however I can, that might be going through the same thing.
That's awesome. I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that, people are coming up to you and asking to share because they're going through the same thing you did, and I'm which kind of brings back to something I talked about with someone over the phone recently, about how important it is to share trauma and share your experiences, because more than likely someone has gone through the same experience.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
there's comfort in knowing that someone else has that journey, someone else has experienced that pain. And the one thing that I wish I knew when I was younger are these words. And I remember Tom Hanks said this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, you think oh man, this is the end of the world. Actually, any age, anytime you come across any adversity, it's the worst, and it's an obstacle that you have a hard time going through in the moment. But in hindsight, and living through those things, I am a better person of it, and because of it, and I'm better prepared emotionally if I have any more trauma in the same way. And I'm grateful that I had the pain. I'm grateful that I went through it, and also I know more what I want. I know more what I expect for myself and the people around me too. So yes, trauma and all that is painful and it hurts, but to quote Walt Disney, sometimes the best thing you need is a kick in the face. That's Walt Disney, man. I know he has a lot of great quotes, but that one really is stuck with me because I've been kicked in the face by life. Now, but I'm taking Muay Thai now too, so I'm getting kicked in the face.
Yikes.
In general.
That sounds scary. I don't know if I'd be down for that.
I'm kind of a method guy. I have to take the pain as well as the mental pain.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. No, and also I'm really proud of you because I know I was seeing you through this process, and it's one of those things where for me, I want to be able to help my friends, but at the same time, I know there are moments where you know what, I know my friends need to, I know they need to walk that path themselves and find their own inner strength.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be the type of friend who's gonna hold or coddle someone and then they just fall into those habits again.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in finding your own value and your own self-worth, because I can tell you you're amazing, and I do tell you you're amazing.
Thank you.
She's the GOAT. She actually got the most reviews, and she won all the challenges for the summer, and she really, and everything we implemented in the company for our entertainers to do, she accomplished. Like she knocked them all out. So I always praise Ash and her talents, but you don't need my validation. The validation that you need the most is your own validation.
Absolutely.
And I feel like you've found that, you know, and I've seen the struggle you've been through, and then like as a friend, like it's hard to see you struggle, but at the same time, it's so inspiring to see you overcome.
Yes.
You know, so that's one thing where like I have a friend right now who has struggled since his mother passed, and there are other things too. But a lot of it, it's like I want to shake him like a baby. Don't shake babies. I say I want to shake him and tell him that like, hey, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing that I realized when I was depressed.
Yeah.
That like, yes, I went through my depression, but when I realized I had to get my shit together, like that's when I was like, okay, get your shit together, and then things will fall into place. I got my shit together, and so things are a lot better now.
That's good.
Yeah. But with my other friend, he's like, he makes excuses, and like he's very religious, so he relies on like, I think my faith is. But like, look, I'm not knocking anyone who has faith. I'm just saying that like I think if anything, yes, if your faith shows you the way, he's gonna want you to do the work too. Like it takes two. You know, you can't just you get opportunity, but you have to follow through.
And that's the main thing is you have to do the work. And that's the thing is like the work is the work.
Yeah,
it is work, and that is so true. And you know, a lot of it is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And a lot of the times when I was going through all this stuff, you know, people would tell me things, but it wasn't until I made the choice to make changes or to change things, to do the things that I needed to do to be better, to feel better, that I really started to see the difference and notice the difference. And those are the things that I want to teach. And I think a big thing is mindset. You know, it has to start with your own mind and your own mindset.
Yeah.
And
completely.
if you don't have that right mindset and you're not at that rock bottom place where nothing is working for you, nobody's going to make you do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it yourself. You have to put in the work. But if somebody can give you like, try this book, try this, try that, just those little steps, because I had a lot of that, you know, different friends that would recommend books to me. And then from those books, I'd start doing my own research where I'm like, oh, I really like this. Or I would listen to a podcast and then that would give me another idea. Or they would mention another podcast that might help you with something else that's connected. And the more that you get into that, you start finding it yourself and you start doing it yourself and you do that work. And the more work that you do, the better you are, the better your outcomes. And so things that you might have experienced and had a really difficult time with or challenged with years ago, once you've changed, it's not as difficult anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like your challenges kind of change, but they're similar.
Yeah.
You go through similar things, and now you might have gone through the same thing. You know, back in 2016, I had my uncle, his wife, and their baby die in a car accident.
Oh, wow. Wow.
2 weeks later, my grandpa died. I had probably two other people that were relatively close to me. One was a friend that I grew up with. One was my aunt. They died later on that year. So I had a lot of loss in that year. And this was when I barely first started my journey. And then, you know, I would drink or I would like not want to feel anything. I wouldn't want to deal with it. And I was so overwhelmed with the amount of grief that I was dealing with and the loss that I was dealing with. And once I started doing this work, within the past 2 years, I've lost 3 uncles. I lost one last week. My mom's youngest brothers, you know, both of them died 6 months from each other. And that never gets easy.
No,
you know, going through loss never gets easy. But I think the way I handled it in 2016 versus the way that I've handled it over the last couple of years is a night and day difference.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the more that you experience it, it's not that it makes it easier, but the way that you see it, the way that you view it, and the way that you take it is just, it's different because, you know, you've gone through it, you've experienced it before, and we all experience grief differently. We all mourn differently. You know, it's like your flight or fight response.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
some people, they just want to run away. They don't want to deal with it. Some people, they take it head on, and other people, they just freeze and they just don't know what to do. And I think
everyone's different.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to like, even with like, that's why with my friend who's like struggling right now, I'm like, I'm not mad at him but he's dealing with his grief the way he can.
Yeah.
And like, I know what it's like. You know, we both know what it's like, dealing with grief. Cause, I know for me, after my dad passed, I was really just autopilot mode, and like things were just getting better. And then I lost Peter. And once Peter passed away, like I apologize to anyone I was around and during like maybe from 2016 to 2018, like those 2 years.
Yeah,
I was
me
very
too.
like autopilot mode, you know, like I'd smile, I'd go places, I'd work, you know, and like we work in a career that we have to be enthusiastic and fun and everything, and like and I was, you know, but inside I was waiting for that clock to like finish up so I can go home and just wallow. You know, and you don't want to wallow, but like it's the only thing that like it's
like a soothing method.
It is,
it's
because
soothing mechanism. It's what makes you feel comfortable, or it's what
you just don't want to feel anything.
Yeah.
Because it's like you've had this roller coaster of emotions, you know. But coming out of it, like I'm so grateful to experience it, and also like to have those people in my life, because like for me, I turned that trauma into something that drives me now, you know, because when you really realize that, like, and this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be a hard take to understand, but like when you lose someone, it is. I hear my dog breathing. I hear Sheba breathing. Shh, Sheba. When you lose someone, like, believe it or not, as hard as it is a bit of a gift, because when you realize that who you lost the opportunity to do anything. Like Peter, my dad, they'll never see Europe. They'll never see me perform wherever, you know, like they'll never get to see the next best picture, you know. You're gonna make me cry. but that's what drove me, so that like I didn't want to waste the opportunities I had, because one, my dad or Peter wouldn't want me to be just always sad thinking about him. They want me to attack my life and just dominate and be the best me, the best entertainer I could be, you know? And like that's the biggest thing that drives me. The fact that like I want to do good by them, you know, like I want them to be proud of me.
In a way, it's like you're living for them.
Exactly.
You know,
you honor the
them.
dead. You honor the dead by living your life. And like it really hit me that like I have so many opportunities, like just being alive, just being like to breathe, just being able to have like a healthy life. Like I have friends who are in wheelchairs. I have friends who are amputees. I have friends who have whatever handicaps and stuff, and I have no right to complain. I have no right to complain about anything, because I have so much freedom and so much things I can do, that like I feel like come on, you have so much opportunity. Go take it, you know. And it's an eye opener, and I'm glad I have the insight now, because I feel like it definitely helped me in my career in the last since 2018. That's like 4 years. And I feel like we've our company itself, we've just been trajecting really high and everything. So it's one thing to just live through depression and like nothing happens, but then like going through that depression and then like things start, you know, getting better and better, you know. Not that there's no problems between or anything, but like for the most part, I feel like I can overcome. Like this too shall pass, you know. Like that's such an important thing to remember, that like everything, like as much as the world stops for people and events that happen, the world moves on. And so do we, you know. Like we can't just live in the past. We honor the past, but we can't just be stuck, because you can't go back. They'll never, even if you make the time machine and you get to go back in time, like that's not moments are so rare. They're so like this moment right now. Like that's about time. Time is constantly going. There's no like
You can't stop it.
You can't capture a moment.
No.
You can give it pictures and stuff, but that's just a memory.
Yeah.
You can never go back and live that. You can never go
Yeah.
fix things. So I just value the now so much more.
Yeah.
Because of all those events.
It's important to be present.
Yes,
It is
yes.
because if you're living in the past, then you're stuck there and you're not moving forward. But if you're living for the future too much, then that could be a problem too, because then you're always worried what's going to happen next. Oh, what am I going to do next?
Yeah.
And you're living for the more.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're living in the present, you're experiencing what's happening. You're grateful for what's happening now, and finding that balance of not going too far into the past and not going too far into the future. Like, obviously you want to plan ahead and do what you can, but don't overwhelm yourself.
Yeah.
Thinking about the future and things that aren't even happening yet, things that haven't happened yet. I feel like for me, I used to get caught up a lot in that of like worrying about the future, worrying what's going to happen. And obviously being a mom and having a child, like I do worry about what's going to happen with her and her future and things like that. But I've learned to be present and enjoy what's happening right now, right in front of you. Because if you're not present in those moments, you can have huge wins and you're not going to be satisfied with them. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be enjoying what's happening at the moment. And, I look back over the past few years when I first started DJing, my first gig ever was at Downtown Disney in front of like however many people. And it was kind of like I just got thrown in. Like, you're getting thrown into the fire. Let's see what happens.
That's the best way. I mean, I'm a proponent for jumping in the fire. Like, that's the best way I've learned anything in my life. I made mistakes for sure, but like I'm the type that I need to. Even when I started DJing, even though I might not have been ready, but like I wanted to get in there so that I can fail miserably and learn from it. And I didn't fail miserably, but like there was a big learning lesson. My first wedding.
And what's crazy is like I swam. Like they threw me in and I swam. And then that same year I was like doing grad nights and I was doing, the Pixar Pals dance party. And
you guys have no idea how like grad nights you earn your wings, because grad nights, those kids are vicious. Like people don't realize that kids are infamously vicious in terms of like music and whatnot. Yeah. So that you could, there's some hair in your back for that.
I don't know about all that, but
you've earned your wings, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so I think from that experience, not being present in it, and now that I go back, I'm like, dang, I was given so many opportunities and like, it's crazy. And I was so worried about what's going to happen next. Like, what is the future going to be like? And, stuck on things.
But you don't know. No, you
don't.
Like, you can plan as much as you want, but I mean, maybe some people can like. I've never been the type to be able to like plan my life and have everything work the way it's supposed to. Yeah. I've always had to like I've always had to. Well, no, I would just be upset. Like, what does it work for me? Now it's like I adapt.
Yeah.
Like my mentality before was like, oh, this sucks. Why am I not doing all this stuff? Mm-hmm. But now it's like, no, I'm gonna adapt. I'm gonna whatever wasn't working, I'm gonna make it better, and whatever is working, I'm gonna be even better than that.
Yeah.
I think life is about adapting more than it's about like making a checklist.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
I mean, at least for some people, I don't like. For me, I even though I make a checklist everywhere. Yeah. But like it doesn't mean that I'll execute it perfectly, because of I can only control what I can control within my own space or my own ability. Yeah. The outside world, there's so many possibilities of things that can go wrong. Yeah. I could go outside and some guy's trying to kill me. Who knows?
Right.
Like it can end I just want to get coffee, and all of a sudden some guy's trying to beat up my car. So it's one of those things where like you should just learning to adapt is probably one of the best things that I've been able to, I guess, adapt to.
And letting go of control. I think that's been like one of the biggest learning lessons. Especially like within the last year, dealing with this back issue, like I don't have control of my body. Yeah. Like my body,
which is crazy. Right?
It is crazy.
That's the one thing that you think you have control over.
Yes. And it's like, the more it's like holding on to a knife. Like the more you try to hold on to it, the more you're cutting yourself. So it's like, you just got to let it go and just, it is what it is.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. And I've been using that analogy a lot with my parents lately. I think that's where I got it from. But yeah, that need for control, that need to have things, the way that you like. And because unfortunately, you can't control everything.
Yeah, thanks again for checking out this episode of Unplugged. Just a reminder, don't forget we are on Apple Podcast, Spotify, as well as Pandora, Amazon Music, and anywhere podcasts are found. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. I will see you on the next episode. Be safe, be kind, be you. Peace.